Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. Trump's first 100 days, we've all been focusing on this a lot, but maybe we're doing this wrong. Hillary Clinton said yesterday if the election had been held on October 27th instead of November 8th, she'd be our president right now.
I take absolute personal responsibility. I was the candidate. I was the person who was on the ballot, and I am very aware of the challenges, the problems, the shortfalls that we had. But I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me but got scared off.
Well, which is it? You can't have it both ways. Is it your fault or is it Comey's fault? I didn't know Jim Comey forced you to set up that illicit homebrew email server, or forced you to use bleach bit and hammers to destroy evidence, or forced you to lie about it. But let's pretend for just a second that Hillary Clinton wasn't the worst candidate in history. Let's take a look at President Hillary's first 100 days. In President Hillary's first 100 days, it's now illegal to say radical Islamic terrorism because, well, obviously that's Islamophobic. Terrorists who attack our country are given safe spaces because they felt triggered by the term. Never mind the $25 million Hillary accepted from Saudi Arabia. On day one, President Hillary lifted all sanctions off Iran. Just to speed up the process, she sent them a big yellow uranium cake signed for peaceful purposes only with love from HRC. The same day, Bill Clinton's bank account grew by $100 million for a speech he made. Duh. No connection between the two. I can't believe you even thought of that. So racist. Women are now paid twice as much as men in the workplace for the same job because the patriarchy needs to learn they're our servants. They owe us big time for the hundreds of years of oppression. Donna Brazile is now in charge of all media outlets. The media czar, Hillary calls her. Negative stories about President Hillary are now prosecuted as hate speech, well, because they might incite riots. Pantsuit sales have skyrocketed. Kindergartners are taught that saying God bless you after a sneeze is a violation of church and state. Everyone in the world is invited to vote in American elections. Well, except Vladimir Putin. President Hillary doesn't like him. President Hillary signs an executive order banning the phrase everyday Americans. OBGYNs are now required to ask women in labor whether they want a partial birth abortion or whether they want to keep the baby. President Hillary appoints Anthony Weiner to the Supreme Court. Her stacked court rules that only Democrats are allowed to contribute money to political campaigns. President Hillary signs another executive action that dictates that anybody with so much as a parking ticket is banned from owning firearms. She wants to keep us safe. President Hillary is committed to the economy and creating jobs, so she hikes income taxes, business taxes, death taxes, capital gains taxes, stock trading taxes, exit taxes, carbon taxes, soda taxes, and she slaps a 25% tax on the purchase and sale of firearms for good measure, too. President Hillary promised to go where the money is. She did it. In the first 100 days, our wallets are now empty. On her 99th day, President Hillary gave a speech to Wall Street for an undisclosed amount of money. No media were allowed to attend. Then the next day, anybody who wanted a loan, no matter their credit risk, was allowed to borrow $1 million. Warren Buffett was suddenly only a measly little millionaire. Bernie Sanders' 3 houses were all foreclosed. And an anonymous buyer purchased a one-way plane ticket in his name to a lonely island in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. And all Freedom of Information requests were directed to an address in Florida that turned out to be a vacant lot. All in President Hillary's first 100 days. And we still have 1,361 days to go. And that's my final point tonight. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.